So insert point. I mean,
Yeah.
you are telling this amazing story. For those of you that aren't aware, well, Josh, why don't you just go over it?
Okay, sure.
I should not talk about the thing that you are doing.
Tell about it. So yeah, I've been in video games for a really long, like a ridiculously long time. I should be out of the industry by now. And but I started over 20 years ago back at Midway Games in the early 90's. And
Yeah.
a couple of Midway fans. Thank you. So
You're all fans. You know that. Search your heart. It's true.
But it was the 90's, from 1990 to 1999. Not just on Midway Games, but just in video games in general. There's like a huge shift going on, and it was, in hindsight, when you look back at it, it was basically the last big era of arcade games, and it ended at '99, right around the time the PlayStation 2 was really starting to take off and everything. But during the '90's, Midway especially was the king of video games, not just arcade games, but arcade and home games. And during that 10 years, I don't think any company was doing better than Midway was. And so I was working there from '92 to '99, and even back then, I felt like I was a witness to history. It was just, you can feel it in the air. I mean, it was a group of video game designers that, it was a really small group. We were in the back of a pinball factory. We didn't even have our own offices or anything because pinball was making a lot of money back in the day. And so we were just kind of like the cast-off people. And then suddenly, next thing you know, the team is making multiple billion-dollar franchises out of this little corner back there. And so being a part of that, I always thought that was a great story. So I had left Midway in '99, started up a company, and then worked at EA Chicago, and then started Openmoto after that. And so I've done a lot of other things, but those first 7 years really just affected everything that I've done afterwards. And so the last few years, I've always been thinking about doing a documentary about that era, because there's just so many great games, the people were great, some really interesting stories. And I kept thinking about it, and then just this past summer, I just finally decided, if I don't do this, somebody else is going to do it. So that's how the whole Kickstarter got.
That was kind of your fuck it moment. Like, if I don't do it now.
It really was one of those fucking moments, because I was just, every time I mentioned to somebody, they would say, "You've got to do this. You're the one person that could probably really tell a lot of these stories." Just because I'm still very close with a lot of people from those days. So I just felt like I had to.